Hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it. Put and box people in a corner. Basically, like, you were never able to reach that feat. It's like hitting the jackpot, it's hitting the lottery. This song has made a nightmares for me.
But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
Hey guys, it's your girl Cameron and I'm back at it again with another video. And today we are going to have a great time. Today's commentary is going to be about the phenomenon of the one-hit wonder. Yes, the one-hit wonder. I was actually scrolling on Twitter the other day and I found out it was National One-Hit Wonder Day on September 25th. Yes, that's a day. There's a day for everything, right? And it began jogging my memory. Who are some one-hit wonders? The somberness that may exist after getting your one big hit and quietly fading into obscurity, or becoming a blip in the music history books. And so I asked myself, what are the travesties of being a one-hit wonder? What is a one-hit wonder? Because there's a lot of debates on how to even classify it. I know we'll probably have a lot of debates in the comments. We're going to talk about the idea of the one-hit wonder. Is it truly dreaded by artists? Is it really as bad? It's often used as a diss. Or hey, is a hit a hit? Most people will never ever get one, so relish in it. And there's always layers to all of this, so we will dissect every part of that today. I also thought that this would be really fun, so we have a fun little interactive one-hit wonder game towards the end of this video, so please stick around because it's going to be a good time. Like, comment down below, what do you guys think of today's video? Comment down below some one-hit wonders that I do mention, that I don't mention. Let's debate, because some of these people, I think folks are going to be split. So it's going to be good. Let's keep the discourse respectful, however. So let's just get straight into the video. Let's go. So we're going to start this video out discussing the history of the one-hit wonder. So the million-dollar question, what is a one-hit wonder? Well, there's a few different definitions and mode of thoughts that we'll go through today. But the first quote is a music artist who has one successful hit song without a subsequent hit that is comparable. But more specifically, music journalist Wayne Janik says that a one-hit wonder was an act that won a position on the National Pop Top 40 record chart just once. So he added a figure or a chart level to that definition. Now, I'm going to say this and establish this right now. Let's be clear, just because you avidly listen to someone doesn't mean that someone didn't fade into obscurity to the general public. I know some of you guys will hear these names and be like, this song was a hit, this song was a hit. These people always have niche fan bases, and I respect that, but we are trying to discuss people who the general public would view or see as a one-hit wonder, not just because you know their entire discography. You see what I'm saying? So writer Chris DeVille says, gut feelings often trump objective data. The one-hit wonder label can sometimes befall an artist with a robust catalog, whose fans will inevitably insist their fave does not deserve to be categorized as such, despite most of the public only identifying them with a singular smash. But let's be clear, I'm not using one-hit wonder as a dig or a diss. I think people get offended because it has that connotation, but let's just keep those feelings at wayside. This doesn't have to be a diss, so let's not take it as a diss. Now, someone else made a point on how they personally classify a one-hit wonder that I felt was very realistic and reasonable. They said that they rank one-hit wonders by the line between how many people know the name of the song and how many people know the name of the artist. So those are the two caveats to kind of determine if that's a fair label or not necessarily based on the chart placement. For me, by a one hit, I'm not saying it had to be a #1 song. To be honest, I don't even think it had to be in the top 40. I just think it had to be a song that either charted pretty high relatively or moved the culture. Could be that hood classic, with the person to be relatively sight unseen in the mainstream ever again. Some people go purely off numbers. I go a little bit more off of impact in the moment, but I think it meets somewhere in the middle. And yes, to me, there is a difference between a one-hit wonder and a one-album wonder. There's quite a few where they had an iconic project where maybe multiple songs charted, or it's cited as a very sound body of work, but they never produced another album again. A lot of people would say the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill is like the quintessential example. Please comment some down below. Regardless of some of these songs becoming a little glitch in the matrix, a moment in time, a fading memory, or a little piece of something that means so much to each and every one of us. On the flip, you know what means something to each and every one of you guys? Your personal data and information. And that brings me to today's sponsor, Aura. And it's especially important that we discuss them right now because hackers could have stolen every American social security number. And that's quite frightening, if you ask me. Over 2.9 billion records were stolen from national public data records. And this personal information is often accessed by employers, private investigators, staffing agencies, and other companies doing background checks. And the stolen records included full names, addresses, date of births, phone numbers, and social security numbers. And members of this hacker group reportedly released this information online for free. Free 99. And my personal information is important and worthy of protection. So I'm very upset and disturbed. I'm really hoping this is a huge wake-up call for any of you guys who have not yet taken the proper precautions to protect your personal data and information online. But I'm not insanely worried because I use Aura. Aura has me covered. Aura will monitor your personal data, including your social security number, across billions of data points, including the dreaded dark web and public court records, in order to alert you of any potential identity theft. Aura also gives you up to $5 million in identity theft insurance if the worst case scenario ever happens. And there's also so many other useful features all in one app to keep you secure and safe online. You don't have to go get other services and figure out how you're covered and where you're covered. Everything in one makes things so organized and streamlined. So you can go to my link, aura.com/CameronSuzanne, to try 14 days for free, which will be enough time for Aura to figure out and discover if any of your personal information has been exposed. What are you waiting for? Now's the time to take action and to get Aura. Unfortunately, the national public data just isn't going to help you, and they may not even face any repercussions for this data leak. So why wait for the worst to happen? Protect yourself today, protect yourself now, because I'm not leaving myself vulnerable to data breaches. And if you don't want to either, you can go to aura.com/CameronSuzanne to try 2 weeks for free. Thank you so much to Aura for sponsoring today's video, and let's get right back into the commentary. So I came across a Twitter post saying that it was National One Hit Wonder Day, and of course the insufferable fans turned the comment section into a hating fest, a way to rag on artists for their gain/benefit, fueling stan wars, and seriousness at its finest. What's new? But I want to take the time to discuss genuine one-hit wonders today, so we will go through a journey. But let's continue this conversation on how to classify one. So let me ask you guys, do we establish based on one huge hit, or do you not consider someone a one-hit wonder if they still have a collective sound body of work that a decent amount of people appreciate and still listen to? Because let's be very clear, being an artist is not about making hits. It's not. And an artist's worth or respect should not be tied into that. So there could be a level of obvious disrespect that people take towards that title. I want to destigmatize that today, but we can't erase the idea that this word has been used as a label to put and box people in a corner, basically like you were never able to reach that feat. A one-hit wonder can include an act with commercial success outside of their one huge hit, right? Or acts who have had multitude of charted songs, maybe 2 to 3, but those like 2 to 3 other hits may have been significantly overshadowed by their mega hit or signature song. So like what do we do? Even if there's someone who has a couple songs that have reached the top 100, they might have had a mega smash hit that some stars will never see. Do you still consider them a one hit, or do you give them some grace? Just to be realistic with the numbers, I would still say the hit in question needs to have hit the Hot 100 at the very least to be considered a proper hit in someone's discography. So let's talk about the one hits debate and the dreaded fates of the one hit wonder. Now I swear some of y'all in the comments were being petty saying X, Y, and Z is a one hit wonder. Let's go through a couple that I think are blunders and don't technically count. So someone said, oh, don't end Lil Nas X like that, whom we will discuss in more detail. Put a pin in that. We'll get back to that. Someone said Lotto with Big Energy. Somebody said Cardi B. I think if anything, at this moment in time, she's more of a one album wonder. Maybe she's coming out with something soon, but she has multiple hits. I think every song off of Invasion of Privacy went platinum. So she's not a one hit wonder. Somebody said Iggy Azalea. As much as I have my feelings about her, Quiet as Kept, she's had a multitude of hits. I think she's just an artist that was a very brief moment in time, but I wouldn't necessarily call her a one hit wonder. Somebody said Normani with Motivation. But she also had some hit duets as well and was a part of a best-selling female girl group with Fifth Harmony. So I wouldn't quite put her there, but she does have this mystique. She kind of disappears and goes away.
But when the world needed him most, he vanished.
And it creates this illusion. I don't even know if it's as much of an illusion. She just doesn't pop out much. So she's given and branded that term at this rate. And then also somebody said Saweetie. I don't really think so. Again, I think she falls more into an artist that may become more of a moment in time, more of a brand, but she's had hits like Icy Girl, My Type, Best Friend, Tap In. I think she's had too many entries and too much buzz to just be considered a one-hit wonder at this rate. And this one's pretty controversial. Through my research, someone said Thinking About You by Frank Ocean, saying that Frank Ocean's a one-hit wonder. And to me, that was a bit of a head scratcher because I know he rarely releases albums, he rarely releases music, but he's a well-known artist. And I think he's had some successful albums, especially Channel Orange. I mean, maybe we could talk about a one album wonder, but like, I just wouldn't consider him a one hit, if that makes sense. I always like to add nuance and context. Remember that it's bigger than just ourselves. It's bigger than you. It's bigger than your music taste. I understand that some of you guys may have discovered an artist yesterday, living under your basic music taste bubble, or maybe you just only listen to pop, maybe you don't listen to R&B, maybe you don't listen to hip hop, maybe you don't listen to country, whatever. And the only time you found an artist remotely relevant was when they hit the main pop charts. But some of these artists that you guys are accusing of being one-hit wonders have had significant impacts on the culture. Maybe subcultures, but nevertheless important cultures that push music forward, right? I think of a genre like R&B that often doesn't get credit, but is often setting trends that we will see with pop artists in years to come. But some of these artists you guys are accusing, I don't want to say that, but saying are one-hit wonders, had significant impact on the culture or quite influential before their biggest pop hit, or they had hits in their genre. So like, let's be careful about that. And also the same method of thought goes towards global or international artists. So let's talk about the benefits and negatives of being a one-hit wonder. And disclaimer, I will be mentioning numbers frequently from here on out in this video. But please know that numbers don't equal worthiness or define the artist. In this context, I just think it is very important and kind of imperative to discuss chart placement. So a positive, I think that it's insanely impressive and special to contribute significantly to culture with one song. It's like hitting the jackpot, it's hitting the lottery. To contribute to collective memories or enjoyment for a moment in time. Those who were there get it and got it. And I think you just hold a special place in people's minds and memories spanning to a very specific time. And it's often associated with good memories and nostalgic because you're obviously looking back on the past when we're talking about one-hit wonder. People get very quick to call people one-hit wonders today, but you guys have to remember you often don't know if they're one hit. You have to give it a couple years to see if they ever come out with something. Now, a negative of being a one-hit wonder is the pressure to live up to and break the curse. And I feel like that can really eat you alive. It can really have a shot to your confidence. And I think every new artist, especially now in the age of social media and people watching you so closely, has this concern of being a one-hit wonder and being teased for it. I mean, if you think of Lil Nas X, for example, he struck gold miraculously coming out of nowhere with Old Town Road. The song beat a record that One Sweet Day by Mariah Carey and Boyz II Men held for the longest time spent at #1, which was 16 weeks. Old Town Road would beat that record, making it to 17 weeks. Imagine coming out with pretty much your first song, blowing up into virality, and then not only that, but beating songs, breaking records held by legend. So it leads to this conversation of how can you even follow that up? So there's a constant need for people to humble you, which can negatively impact your psyche, creating mounted pressure and being used as discreditation, holding you back from maybe ever making a song remotely as big ever again. And Lil Nas X has been a bit outspoken about struggling in a new era to develop a new album, a sound. And he's expressed having to recenter and block out the noise, more so in a joking manner. But you know, sometimes we laugh to keep from crying a bit. But he posted a couple of TikToks that was poking fun at the fact that like his 30 minutes are almost up.
Do you know you have 30 minutes? Are you serious? 30, yes.
I'm gonna start from the bottom and I fired my team and apparently he scratched his rollout for his next upcoming project and is reconfiguring the artist he wants to be.
Starting over is embarrassing, and you just gotta do it anyway. You gotta start over regardless. And you need to just feel all those things you don't want to avoid feeling. Like, people are gonna tell you how good things used to be and how great you were and how, you know, it was the past was so much better than right now. You just gotta be where you are. You gotta start from where you are. You gotta stand next to yourself, stand beside yourself, stand beside your ideas, stand beside your dreams. Be where you are. Stop trying to cling on to what was so that you can become that next version of you. I haven't even had my next big thing yet, but I know it's coming, you know? And it can feel embarrassing, like having all these eyes on you while you start something new. You have to let them watch. Enjoy the fucking show. Grab some popcorn. It's gonna be a good one.
So especially with this revolving door of artists, I can imagine it being quite scary and daunting, amounting tons of pressure to create another smash hit as big as the last one. Again, Lil Nas X has had Industry Baby. He's had I Want Someone Who Loves Me. I don't know what that song is called, but he's had like a few. The only thing is, I think the one where he was dancing on a stripper pole as a devil.
My bad, y'all. Wrong song.
I think that didn't even clear. I think it made 69. It peaked at 69 on the chart. For me, that is not a bad placement. But in the context of hits and like having a song like Old Town Road, that was considerably disappointing for an artist like Lil Nas X. I think of artists like Olivia Rodrigo, who had such a huge debut. She was fresh on the music scene, had a hit like Driver's License that climbed to #1 on the charts, and she actually debuted at #1 and spent 8 weeks at the top. She actually became the youngest artist to ever debut at #1 on the Hot 100. So again, you have these folks who are literally making history. How do you follow that up? Luckily, in Olivia Rodrigo's case, she's had multiple hits after that. She's built a very solid fan base, and I don't think she's going to go anywhere. If anything, she's just going to keep probably breaking records at this point. Someone like Sabrina Carpenter who's considered as the new kid on the block, has beat this curse, with many thinking that her music career would never take off. That was one. Or people thinking that she wouldn't or will never be able to create another Espresso moment. Espresso never made it to #1, but she came out with Please Please Please. That hit #1, and Taste. And her album just went platinum, short and sweet. You know, she's already, in my opinion, beat this one hit curse, but that's kind of a way to say that a lot of people speak too soon on people's careers and people's potential. And I think a classic example right now that we're seeing in real time is someone like Tommy Richmond, who has vividly said he's not a TikTok artist. And after $1 Million Baby, his hit song, he's trying to build his roots. You can tell he's making an effort to prove himself as an artist, but to also prove that he can do it again and secure another hit. So you see these artists working through this idea and trying to battle this in real time, especially in the age of the internet where they can easily communicate with us. Now, a positive is that you were able to create a song so sonically influential that it's referenced till this day, flipped, sampled, and goes on to inspire generations of listeners and audiences. You can't beat that. A song that comes on in the club and everyone still goes wild, a hit for the culture that will always remain. I think of Move Your Body by Nina Sky from 2004. The song was the duo's top 40 hit. Again, that's a song that comes on and you're moving. Everyone knows that song. And if you don't, you lived under a rock. I think of Wine Up by Kat DeLuna. It peaked at number 29 on the Hot 100. That was like her main hit. But if you know the song, you know the song, and you know it's about. Another really big one is Amerie, One Thing. That one peaked at number 8 on the US Billboard Hot 100. And I even think people debate her from fully being a one-hit wonder, maybe more so of a one-album wonder. But she kind of just, there must have been some industry stuff going on. I don't know. That song was so influential. People look back at the history books and think like Beyonce sang this song or somebody else sang this song. And everyone's like, no, it's Amerie. And also, I've seen some charts and some research consider Cassie a one-hit wonder with Me and You from 2006. And it reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, and it remained on the charts top 40 for almost 5 months, which is very impressive. But she also had a long way to go. But I do think that song gained more momentum recently, surprisingly, like TikTok trends and things like that. And numbers wise, it did spend 2 weeks on Billboard Hot 100 and peaked at 97. I think she would be more so classified as a one-hit wonder. And another person we could talk about, Pop, Lock and Drop It by Huey in 2007. It was his first and only hit. It peaked at number 6 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 2007, and it's always going to go down as a cultural moment, bringing people together, a dance embedded into Black culture and pop culture, and it's going to continue to keep the world moving. Now, a negative, right? We talked about never being able to fully recreate that moment and create that high and affecting your psyche. But where do you go when you've reached such a high feat? For some people, this can translate to trouble, depression, loss of purpose, and just a complete downward spiral. We could talk about Silento with Watch Me. What? Watch Me? Yeah, huge song. Huge song in 2015. But he struggled with his mental health. He had some issues with depression, anxiety. But he was also charged with malice murder and felony charges for, I believe, attempting to kill his cousin. Yeah, I'm not saying that this is all attributed to him only having one hit. But when you went this high, you're not able to sustain stuff, you could see a potential correlation in a downward spiral. Desiigner, who had his hit song Panda. He was charged recently with indecent exposure after allegedly being caught on a Delta Airlines flight himself in front of flight attendants. And I think he's been arrested a couple other times. Again, no, this isn't no way to judge people, but it's like, how do you go from here to here? And I also think it's harsh too. He dealt with comparison. He was heavily compared to Future. Desiigner was casted as a fraud or a cheap impersonator. Everyone thought that that track was Future when it came out. And I even think there might have been like a copyright issue between Future and Desiigner as well. So I could imagine that all of this could lead to a loss of purpose and could lead to trouble, as we've seen with some of these artists. And you'll often see in the history book a lot of these one-hit wonders. When that song came out, they would rack up award show nominations. That year, their song made it big. Best New Artist, Top New Artist, Best Song of the Year, Top Song of the Year, Best Music Video. And then you go to their Wikipedia and you never see them nominated again. That's why, guys, I always say, and I live by this, the slow growth is always, in my opinion, better. Because I think you gain something along the way. You learn like a level of tenacity and hustle. And your worth usually isn't wrapped into one moment in time. I find it's easier to sustain over time versus like blowing up overnight and not being prepared, having the talent, the tools, the resources to replicate that again, you know? A positive of being a one-hit wonder. You can potentially feed yourself off of one hit, rare case, but you may get licensing deals for commercials, movie trailers, ads, and could even be invited for festivals, events, and gigs for the rest of your career to perform your one hit. If it's big enough, you might get a nice little check just to come on, sing one song, and dip. And most people have a soft spot for you because you didn't stick around long enough to piss people off or for people to hate you, which is very sad to say, but we know this happens. It's a constant cycle. Like, who doesn't want to be a part of music history in large? And one-hit wonders often are. There's something so special about this one song, even if it was good or not, that people will remember forever. And you also don't have to keep up with the ins and outs of celebrity stardom because people usually just tend to like not care about you anymore. And for some people, that's a good thing. You mean I don't have to get stalked by paparazzi, deal with stan accounts and stan wars? Like, some people, it's like it's a win-win. I got my hit, people know me, but I kind of get to fade into the background and do my thing. So it's all about perspective and how you look at it. Some artists don't mind being a one-hit wonder. Some artists, they want to build a legacy. And lastly, there can also be some label preventative issues that completely crush potential stars' careers and led to the one-hit wonder phenom. Sometimes some artists were ready to take their career to the next level, but their label just never put in the effort, or things went haywire, causing them to be that one-hit wonder. I think of Cassie, who we talked about earlier, whose self-titled album was released in 2006, and she had this minimalist, cutting-edge production and ushered in a new, fresh sound into R&B. And as mentioned, Me and You reached number 3 on the Billboard Hot 100, but Cassie, you know, pretty face, pretty girl, but she struggled with live performances, working to overcome her stage fright. She shot to stardom, but there was a level of mystique about her that kind of, I guess, felt a bit inauthentic to people. And we also know she was signed to Diddy under Bad Boy Records. He was predatory and promised her a career with conditions and manipulation and abuse. And it's like, is 1 or 2 hits worth all of that? She didn't know that that was going to come with the conditions. And then what happened? He was abusing her. He had control over her career. That ended up leading to her not having one anymore outside of being associated with him. And so it's unfortunate because she had some hits. She was a cute girl, this look, this allure about her. But unfortunately, she was used and abused, and her career went to wayside. So she kind of lives in history as Cassie with this one hit. And I feel like she could have even been potentially bigger. So this is the fun part, the part that you all came here for. So we're going to play a game called Guess the One Hit Wonder. So how this is going to go, okay, I want you guys to actually participate, like real life. We have a couple of rules. So first, I'm going to play about 4 or 5 seconds of the song, or sing it, depending on copyright. And I'm going to give you guys a guessing buffer of 5 seconds. Then 2, I'm going to have you guess the artist. I'm going to give you 5 seconds. 3, then I'm going to have you guys name 2 to 3 other songs by that person. I'm going to give you about 5 to 10 seconds on that one. And then 4, we're going to ask ourselves, does this classify this person as a one-hit wonder? And you're going to lock in your answer, yes or no, and then we'll just chat about it in the comments. We're going to start with a couple old school ones, and then we're going to go to some newer hits that you guys probably may or may not know. All right, so I'm going to play the first song. All right, next, I'm going to give you guys 5 seconds to guess the artist. I want you guys to name 2 to 3 other songs by this artist. Go. All right, and do you classify this as a one-hit wonder? Let's talk about it. What do you think? All right, next song. Name the song. Don't name the artist here, just name the title of the song. All right, round 2, I'm going to have you guys list the artist. Go. All right, you know the drill. Name 2 to 3 other songs by that artist. Go. And lastly, do you guys consider this person a one-hit wonder? Yes or no? All right, so for our last old school hit, I'm playing the song. All right, now it's time to guess the artist. And now you're going to guess 2 to 3 other songs. This one I'll maybe give you 2. All right, and I think this one's pretty safe to say. One-hit wonder, but iconic. It's like one of the biggest songs in the world and will always be, right? All right, that was just a little warm-up because I know a lot of you guys may or may not have known some of those, but we're going to go into some of the newer or recent hits. Some from the 2010s, mostly that era. So the first one, let's play the song. I want you guys to guess the name of the song.
She didn't have to cut
All right, now I'm going to have you guys list the artist. Do the artist and the feature artist if you're feeling fancy. All right, next, name 2 to 3 other songs by the main artist. Not the featured artist, but the main artist. All right, do we consider him a one-hit wonder? Yes or no? Sí o no? Actually, this song peaked at #1. Just sonically, it's so random that it plays so high, but it's a great song nevertheless. The song was on repeat on my iPod. Okay, next one. I'm playing the song. I want you guys to just guess the name of the song. Just the name. All right, now you're gonna name the artist. Go. And now I want you guys to list 2 to 3 other songs by this artist. Is it a one-hit wonder? Yes or no? Yo no sé. Probably. I love this song though. Actually, my recital, y'all know I've been dancing my whole life. I think I might have been 12. We did a dance to this song and I loved it. I lived for it. Jazz dance. So, next song. This song has made nightmares for me. Please give me the title of the song.
Messages I've tried to send, my information's just not going in.
Next, who sang this song? Who's the artist? List 2 to 3 songs. 2 to 3 other songs. Don't cheat. 2 to 3 other songs. Go. And is this person a one-hit wonder? Would you classify? This song peaked at #8 on the Hot 100. And quiet as kept, unpopular opinion, I hated this song. Hated it. Hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it, hated it. It was just kind of annoying to me. Nothing against the artist, please. All right, this one was a bit of a smash hit. Went platinum in my house. Guess the song.
And at the end of the night when the lights go out, will we turn down? Oh no, we won't.
All right, now I want you guys to guess the artist. All right, and then lastly, you're gonna guess 2 to 3 other songs by this artist. I can think of one. I can think of one. And is she a one-hit wonder? All right, the next one, I feel like you have to be a certain age to kind of know this one. So first, name the name of the song.
I don't even bother. I put that on my partner. I put that on my family.
All right, second, I think some of y'all might get stomped up on this one. Who's the artist? Name 2 to 3 other songs. Go. Was it one-hit wonder? Let me know. Them basic bitches buy that so I don't even. Lastly, we are going to go. This is our last one. I want you guys to name the song. Go. I'll give you a hint. This is a band. It's a group. Who sang it? Go. And name 2 to 3 other songs by this group. One-hit wonder. Might be safe to say. Might be safe to say. Not a diss. The song goes. It goes. Well, thank you guys for joining me for my Guess the One-Hit Wonder game. I hope it was fun, a bit interactive. Share it with your friends. To end this video, I'm going to list some other honorable mentions, just kind of rapid fire, of some one-hit wonders. Again, some of them might be debatable. So let me know down below. School me, update me. What are these folks doing? Did they have other reputable projects? I'm just one girl. Okay. So one, I said Replay by ES from 2010. And I think people naturally put artists from like this 2010s period, like Jay Sean, Tayo Cruz, Mike Posner, into this category. They were all crushing it at this time. Couple hits, like Jay Sean, I would even say Mike Posner. But they all kind of remind me of each other. Similar brand of artists. Barbie Girl by Aqua in 1997. Gangnam Style by Psy. He also had Gentleman, but like I don't really think that like I didn't move. 4. This one's gonna be very controversial. I already know some of you guys are gonna like be upset about this, but 1,000 Miles by Vanessa Carlton, 2002. It peaked at number 5 on the Hot Billboard 100. And I think this might be a little bit debatable because she did have some other entries on the chart. I'm just not privy to them, but I was also really young when this song came out. So let me know. Friday by Rebecca Black. Nobody should be debating that in the comments. Safe and Sound, Capital Cities, 2013. That peaked at number 8. They kind of faded away. Got themselves a little commercial song, a retail hit. And this is the hit that may just keep on giving. So kudos to them. Congrats. Harlem Shake by Bauer, 2013. It peaked at number 1 on the Billboard charts. It's kind of revolutionary for the time as the viral videos like made this song like shoot up into the stratosphere of stardom. I don't even know how it happened, but I believe Billboard actually kind of shifted around the rules, which allowed for this song to be a hit. Maybe it was because it was user-generated content, so I don't know if they counted like Vine plays and things like that. I don't know. Nasty Freestyle by T-Wayne, 2015. Definitely Vine days. If you were there, you were there. That used to be my song. It peaked at number 9, guys, on the Hot 100.
Let me hop out the Porsche, I don't wanna hit that.
Shut the
I'm shamelessly. Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby in 1990. Nico and Vinz, Am I Wrong, 2014. It actually peaked at number 4. That song was a bop. Also another really great one, Clarity by Foxes and Zedd. Obviously Zedd has gone on to have other hits. He was the DJ, but Foxes peaked at number 8. Tuesday by I Love McConan. I feel like this might be controversial, but like I thought this was somebody else singing when it came out. I was like, this is who? I thought this was I don't even know who I thought it was, but I didn't think it was this man. And then lastly, Classic Man by Jidenna, I don't know. It peaked at number 22. I don't think he's ever had like another song even reach the Hot 100. I'm a classic man. No, my nightmares are made of this song. Like a bunch of men in suits. You guys know those little conventions they have downtown? Oh, I'm talking downtown like you guys live here. In downtown Detroit, they have little conventions where they all get dressed up in suits and walk down the street. Oh my gosh, nightmares. So many reels and videos were used with this Classic Man song. If you know, you know. Very niche. But in conclusion, there is some complexity within the one-hit wonder, right? I don't think it's actually as black and white as people want to make it. How we classify, how we credit, how we give people the credit. And it's tough because some of, let's say, the old school names we listed have had multiple charting hits, right? If you talk to somebody from 1985, they're going to be like, oh, yeah, I knew this song said this song. But in the history books, when we look back today, they were only remembered for that song. So some of these people, like, I'm not going to lie to you. I like some of the people we listed. Somebody like Lil Nas X. I don't think he's a one-hit wonder, but think about 50 years from now, is anybody going to remember all the other little like tiny hits, or is everyone just going to remember that one? So even then there's like a working ongoing conversation because you just really fully don't know, versus you have singers like Katy Perry, Ariana Grande, Taylor Swift, Michael Jackson, Prince, Janet Jackson, who you can literally do a laundry list of hits top to bottom. Historically, people are going to remember that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys can see the nuance in all of this. I want to have this be a very interactive comment section because there's so much to talk about. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.